When you wake up in the morning, the first thing you need is power in your mind. You need the voice that tells you, get up, push harder, don't waste your life sleeping through your potential. Every single day is a chance to become stronger, sharper, and better than yesterday. Don't wait for motivation to come from the outside. It must come from inside you. You need discipline like a machine. You need to tell yourself, no excuses. Because excuses are nothing but lies you feed yourself to feel comfortable. Comfort makes you weak, struggle makes you strong. So stop chasing easy. Chase growth, chase progress, chase the pain that transforms you into someone unrecognizable compared to who you are right now. Every day, you fight against doubt. Every day, you fight against fear. That's the enemy inside your head trying to stop you. But you are stronger than that. You crush that voice. You replace it with belief, with focus, with absolute certainty that you will not quit no matter how hard it gets. Consistency is the real secret. Not one day, not 2 days, but every single day, you show up. You put in the work, even when you are tired, even when no one is watching, even when people laugh at you or tell you that you can't do it. That's when you push harder. That's when you prove them wrong. Listen to this every day. Burn it into your brain. Let it be the fire that wakes you up, the fuel that keeps you moving, and the hammer that breaks through every wall in front of you. Your future is built by repetition, by grit, by sacrifice. You want the life you dream of, then earn it, one day at a time, one rep at a time, one victory at a time. When you wake up in the morning, the very first thought that enters your mind will decide how the rest of your day unfolds. If you wake up with laziness, with hesitation, with that weak voice telling you to stay in bed, then you already lost before the day even started. But if you wake up with power, with fire, with the determination that nothing will stop you, then you already won half the battle. Every morning is a new beginning, a reset button on your life. What you did yesterday is gone. It doesn't matter. What matters is what you choose to do right now, this very moment when your eyes open and your feet touch the ground. Most people hit the snooze button. They choose comfort. They choose to stay small. You cannot live like that if you want greatness. You must treat every morning like the start of war, because that's what it is. A battle between the version of you that wants to succeed and the version of you that wants to stay weak. When you wake up with power and purpose, you are telling yourself that today you will not waste time. Time is the most precious resource you have. It doesn't matter how rich you are, how talented you are, or how strong you are. Time will always keep moving. Every second that passes is gone forever, and you never get it back. That is why you cannot afford to start your day without intensity. You need to get out of bed and already know your mission. You need to know why you are up so early, why you are sacrificing comfort, why you are willing to push yourself harder than anyone else. That purpose is what drives you forward when your body wants to quit. Without purpose, you are like a ship lost at sea, moving in circles, going nowhere. With purpose, you become unstoppable, because every action has meaning. Every step has direction. There will be mornings when your body feels heavy, when your mind tells you to slow down, when the excuses whisper in your ear. Those are the mornings that define champions. Anybody can get up when they are excited. Anybody can get up when the sun is shining and they feel fresh. But not everybody can get up when they are tired, when they are beaten down, when there is no energy left. That is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary. You must learn to create your own energy. You must learn to light your own fire, because the world will not always give you motivation. Power and purpose come from within, and you need to train yourself to summon them every single morning, no matter what. When you rise with this mindset, your whole world changes. Your posture changes, your decisions change, your confidence changes. Instead of dragging through the day waiting for something good to happen, you attack the day and make it happen. You do not wait for opportunities, you create them. You do not wait for luck, you build it through your preparation and your effort. People will notice the energy you carry. They will feel the intensity, and that energy will separate you from everyone else who is walking through life half asleep. Success is not just about talent or resources. It is about energy. It is about showing up with more drive than anyone else. and that begins the second you wake up. Purpose is not something you find by accident. It is something you decide. Too many people waste years searching for purpose, as if it will fall into their lap. The truth is, you must choose your purpose and commit to it with everything you have. It could be building your career, it could be mastering your craft, it could be taking care of your family, but whatever it is, you must wake up every morning knowing why you are alive and what you must accomplish. Without that decision, without that clarity, your mornings will feel empty and your life will drift away without direction. The most dangerous thing is not failure. The most dangerous thing is wasting your life without purpose. So when you wake up, remind yourself of your mission, remind yourself of your why, and let it fuel you through the day. Power is also about controlling your state. When you wake up, you cannot afford to be passive. You must take control of your body, your mind, your emotions. Move with intensity, breathe deeply, get your blood flowing, tell your mind that you are ready to conquer. The way you start is the way you continue. If you start weak, your day will stay weak. If you start strong, your day will be strong. That is why rituals matter, habits matter, discipline matters. You must program yourself to wake up like a warrior, not like a victim. You must train your brain to associate mornings with strength, not with weakness. When you do this long enough, it becomes automatic. You won't even think about it. You will wake up ready to dominate because it will be who you are. Every great achievement begins in the morning. Think about it. The athlete who trains before sunrise, the entrepreneur who works while the world is asleep, the student who studies when others are partying. These people understand that mornings are sacred. They are the foundation of greatness. The world is quiet, distractions are minimal, and your energy is highest when you use it correctly. If you own your mornings, you own your life. But if you waste them, you waste your life. That is why waking up with power and purpose is not just a motivational phrase. It is the difference between success and failure, between living fully and just existing. So when the alarm rings, don't hesitate. Don't negotiate with your mind. Jump up, move, remind yourself why you are here, and attack the day with everything you have. You do not get these mornings back. You do not get another chance at this moment. Live it with power, live it with purpose, and set the tone for everything that follows. Destroying excuses and chasing struggle is the mindset that separates winners from quitters. Excuses are the easiest thing in the world to create, and they are the most poisonous. They sound reasonable, they sound comfortable, but they are lies you tell yourself to stay the same. People say they don't have time, they don't have energy, they don't have money, they don't have the right support. Those excuses are nothing more than chains holding them back from what they are truly capable of. The truth is, nobody ever has the perfect conditions, nobody has the perfect circumstances. The strongest people are the ones who did not wait for the perfect situation. They started where they were, with what they had, and they fought for more. Excuses are the language of failure, and once you allow them to creep into your life, they will multiply until they own you. When you destroy excuses, you take full responsibility. You stop pointing fingers, you stop blaming the world, you stop looking for reasons why you can't. Instead, you look for reasons why you must. Responsibility is power, because the moment you admit that everything in your life is up to you, you also admit that you have the power to change it. That is freedom. People who live by excuses are prisoners of their own weakness, but people who destroy excuses become unstoppable forces because they know they are in control. Life will never be fair. It will never hand you everything you want, but if you stop making excuses, you will find a way. You will adapt, you will create solutions, and you will keep moving forward while everyone else stays stuck. Chasing struggle is the other side of this mindset. Most people avoid struggle, they run from it, they hide from pain. They think struggle is punishment, but struggle is the forge where greatness is built. Every time you face struggle, you get stronger. Every time you push through hardship, you gain more power. Comfort never built a champion. Comfort never created legends. It is only through suffering, through effort, through pushing yourself past the limits that you discover who you really are. Struggle is not the enemy, it is the gift. It is the test that proves whether you are serious about your goals or just talking about them. If you are afraid of struggle, then you are afraid of growth, because the two cannot be separated when you chase struggle. You stop being afraid of failure. Failure becomes just another lesson, another step toward mastery. You stop being embarrassed by mistakes. You stop hiding when things don't go your way, because you know that struggle is part of the process. Every successful person has been through nights of doubt, days of pain, moments where quitting seemed easier. But they embraced that struggle instead of running from it, and because of that, they became strong enough to carry their dream to the end. Weakness is born in comfort, but strength is born in struggle. When you seek it out instead of avoiding it, you accelerate your own growth. You train your body, your mind, and your spirit to handle more than you ever thought possible. Destroying excuses and chasing struggle requires a shift in mindset. You must stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "Why not me?" You must stop saying, "I can't," and start saying, "I will." You must stop hoping that things get easier and start hoping that you get stronger. The world does not reward the one who hides from hardship. It rewards the one who walks straight into it and refuses to back down. Excuses will always be there, waiting for you to choose them. Struggle will always be there, waiting for you to face it. The choice is yours. Will you live in comfort, making excuses while your dreams fade away? Or will you embrace struggle and build the life you deserve? The reason excuses feel safe is because they protect your ego. They give you an excuse for why you are not where you want to be, so you don't have to admit that you didn't give everything. But that false protection is what keeps you weak. Destroying excuses means stripping yourself of that protection, exposing yourself to the truth, and taking the hit. That takes courage, that takes honesty, but the reward is growth. Once you destroy excuses, you become unshakable because you no longer hide behind lies. You see reality as it is, and you deal with it directly. That raw honesty is what allows you to change, to improve, to evolve into the person who can handle any obstacle in front of them. Chasing struggle means training yourself to find opportunities in pain. When life hits you hard, instead of asking why it happened, you ask how you can use it. When a challenge comes, instead of shrinking, you lean into it. Struggle is not meant to break you, it is meant to shape you. Every difficulty you face is like weight on a barbell. At first it feels heavy, almost impossible. But when you push against it, when you lift it again and again, your muscles grow. The same applies to your life. The more struggle you face and embrace, the more resilient, disciplined, and unstoppable you become. The people who avoid struggle never build this strength, and when life finally demands it from them, they collapse. But the ones who chase struggle have already prepared, and they rise when others fall. Excuses and struggle are directly connected. Excuses are the shield you use to avoid struggle. When you remove the shield, you have no choice but to face it. And once you face it, you realize that struggle is not as terrifying as you imagined. You realize that you are stronger than you thought, tougher than you believed, and more capable than you ever gave yourself credit for. Destroying excuses opens the door to the very struggles that will transform you. That is why you must never tolerate excuses, not from yourself, not from others. The moment an excuse appears, crush it. Replace it with action, replace it with effort, replace it with the relentless drive to find a way forward no matter how hard it feels. Chasing struggle means that when something gets difficult, you don't back off, you lean in harder. You understand that growth is hiding inside the struggle. That extra repetition when your body says stop. That extra hour when your mind says you're done. That extra step when your legs feel like stone. That is where transformation happens. Struggle doesn't weaken you, it strengthens you. It sharpens your mind, it hardens your body, it fortifies your spirit. If you make struggle your friend, there is nothing the world can throw at you that you cannot handle. Excuses will keep you soft, but struggle will make you unbreakable. Destroying excuses and chasing struggle is a lifestyle. It is not something you do once. It is something you live by every single day. The temptation of excuses will never go away. The discomfort of struggle will never fully disappear. But when you commit to this mindset, you begin to see them differently. Excuses become disgusting to you, and struggle becomes addictive. You begin to crave the challenge because you know it is the path to growth. You begin to despise comfort because you know it is the slow death of potential. That is when you truly separate yourself from the average. That is when you become the kind of person who refuses to be stopped by anything or anyone. Crushing doubt and fear with belief is one of the most important battles you will ever fight. And it is not a battle against the outside world. It is a battle inside your own mind. Doubt is the small voice that whispers you are not good enough, that you do not have what it takes, that you will never make it. Fear is the force that paralyzes you, that makes you hesitate, that convinces you to stay where it feels safe. These two enemies live inside every person, and if you allow them to control you, they will steal your dreams before you even take the first step. But belief is the weapon that destroys them. Belief is the fire that burns through every wall of doubt, every chain of fear, and makes you unstoppable. When you believe in yourself, there is nothing anyone can say or do to stop you, because the strongest power is not external approval. It is internal conviction. Most people let doubt creep in because they compare themselves to others. They look at someone who has already achieved greatness and think they are too far ahead, they are too talented, they had better opportunities, they had more luck. But comparison is poison. It blinds you to your own potential. The truth is, every champion started as a beginner, every master started as a student. Every success story began with fear and uncertainty. The difference is, they did not let that fear stop them. They believed in their ability to grow, to improve, to evolve through consistent action. Belief is not about having all the answers. It is about trusting yourself to find the answers along the way. Doubt says you cannot. Belief says you will figure it out. That shift in mindset changes everything. Fear is another barrier that holds people down. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of looking stupid, fear of wasting time. These fears are powerful because they play on your emotions. They create images in your mind of everything going wrong, of you being embarrassed, of you being laughed at. And because of that, many people never even try. But the truth is, fear is an illusion. It is the mind exaggerating the consequences and underestimating your strength. The way to crush fear is not to wait until it disappears, because it never will. The way to crush fear is to act in spite of it, to step forward while your hands are shaking, to take action while your heart is racing. Every time you do this, fear loses power over you, and your belief grows stronger. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to move anyway. Belief must be built. It is not something you are simply born with. You build it through repetition, through discipline, through proving to yourself day after day that you can do more than you thought. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your belief grows. Every time you push past your limit, your belief grows. Every time you refuse to quit when it gets hard, your belief grows. It is like a muscle. The more you train it, the stronger it gets. And the stronger your belief becomes, the weaker doubt and fear become. Eventually, you reach a point where belief is your natural state. And doubt is nothing but background noise you barely notice. Crushing doubt and fear requires a relentless focus on your vision. You must know what you want so clearly that nothing can distract you from it. When your vision is strong, belief has fuel. When your vision is weak, doubt takes over. This is why so many people quit, not because they are incapable, but because their vision is blurry, and without clarity, doubt wins. You must remind yourself every day of where you are going, why you are doing it, and what it will feel like when you achieve it. That clarity keeps belief alive and gives you the strength to silence the voice of fear. You cannot fight doubt with hope. You fight it with certainty, with a vision so powerful that it drowns out everything else. Belief also comes from surrounding yourself with the right environment. If you spend your time around people who constantly complain, who constantly doubt, who constantly tell you what cannot be done, then your own belief will weaken. But if you surround yourself with people who push harder, who think bigger, who act with confidence, then your belief will rise to match theirs. Human beings are influenced by the energy of those around them, And if you want to crush doubt and fear, you need to protect your environment. That means cutting out the negativity, limiting the noise, and feeding your mind with positivity, with stories of people who made it, with examples of strength and perseverance. What you consume daily either fuels your belief or feeds your doubt. There is also the practice of controlling your self-talk. Most people do not realize how powerful their inner dialogue is. Every time you say, "I can't," "I'm not good enough," "I'll never make it," you are programming your mind to accept defeat. But when you replace those statements with "I can," "I am capable," "I will find a way," you are programming belief. It may feel strange at first, but the mind responds to repetition. Over time, those words become reality. You begin to believe them, and belief transforms your actions. Doubt thrives on negative self-talk, but belief grows when you consciously choose empowering words. The way you speak to yourself will either destroy you or build you. So choose carefully. Fear and doubt also weaken when you focus on progress instead of perfection. Too many people think they must have everything figured out before they start. They think they must be flawless before they can step forward. That is a trap. Progress is the true goal. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be better than yesterday. Every small step forward builds confidence, and that confidence fuels belief. Doubt says you're not ready. Belief says you'll grow along the way. Fear says you might fail. Belief says failure is part of the journey. When you embrace progress, you stop letting fear paralyze you, and you stop letting doubt control you. Crushing doubt and fear with belief is not about ignoring reality. It is about creating a stronger reality inside your mind. It is about deciding that no matter how hard it gets, no matter how many times you stumble, no matter how many people tell you it is impossible, you will not stop believing in yourself. Because belief is the foundation of everything. Without it, you will never take the first step. With it, you will keep moving until you reach the top. Doubt and fear are loud, but belief is louder when you feed it daily with action, with discipline, with vision, with courage. Every time you choose belief over doubt, every time you choose action over fear, you are shaping yourself into the kind of person who cannot be stopped. Showing up every single day, no matter what, is the discipline that builds greatness, because consistency is the foundation of everything worthwhile. Anybody can show up when they feel good, when they are motivated, when things are easy. But the ones who rise above everyone else are the ones who show up even when they are exhausted, even when they don't feel like it, even when life is throwing every possible obstacle in their path. This principle separates the dreamers from the doers, the talkers from the achievers, the average from the extraordinary. When you commit to showing up every single day, you are sending a message to yourself and to the world that nothing will stand between you and your goals. The truth is, life will never give you perfect conditions. There will always be something in the way. Some days you will be tired, some days you will be stressed, some days you will be busy, some days you will face setbacks that make you question everything. That is when most people quit. They allow one bad day to turn into a bad week, then a bad month, and soon they have completely lost their momentum. But if you decide that you will show up no matter what, you break this cycle. You understand that success is not built on single bursts of effort. It is built on relentless repetition, on stacking one day of effort on top of the next, until the foundation is so strong that nothing can knock it down. When you show up every day, you build discipline, and discipline is stronger than motivation. Motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. It rises and falls depending on your mood, your environment, or what you see around you. But discipline is permanent. Discipline is the muscle you build by forcing yourself to act regardless of how you feel. Discipline does not ask if you are tired. Discipline does not ask if you are in the mood. Discipline does not care about excuses. Discipline simply says, this is what must be done, and you do it. Over time, that discipline becomes who you are. It becomes your identity. You no longer debate with yourself about whether to act, because acting is automatic. That is the power of showing up daily. Every small action you take compounds over time. One workout may not change your body. One study session may not change your knowledge. One day of practice may not make you a master, but when you repeat those actions day after day, they build momentum. They create habits, they accumulate results. Success is never sudden, it is the visible outcome of hundreds, thousands, even millions of invisible days of showing up. People will call you lucky, they will say you were gifted, they will think you had advantages. What they will not see are the countless mornings you woke up early, the nights you stayed late, the sacrifices you made to show up when it was easier to quit. That is the hidden price of greatness. Showing up daily also teaches resilience. There will be times when your effort does not produce immediate results. You will put in the work and not see progress right away. This is the trap where most people give up, because they mistake slow results for no results. But when you keep showing up, even when the results are invisible, you are training yourself to trust the process. You are proving to yourself that you are stronger than frustration, stronger than impatience, stronger than discouragement. And eventually, the results appear. The seeds you planted through consistency begin to grow, and because you never stopped showing up, you are there to harvest them while others are left with nothing. Another power of showing up every day is the way it builds confidence. Confidence is not built by talking about what you want to do. It is built by keeping promises to yourself. Every time you tell yourself you will show up, and then you actually do it, you reinforce the belief that you can rely on yourself. That belief is priceless. It carries over into everything you do. It allows you to take bigger risks, to push yourself harder, to aim higher, because you know you have the discipline to back it up. On the other hand, every time you break a promise to yourself, every time you quit, every time you let excuses win, you weaken that belief and your confidence fades. The simple act of showing up daily is one of the most powerful ways to build unshakable self-confidence. There will be people who underestimate you, who doubt you, who dismiss your goals. Some of them will even laugh at you. But when you keep showing up day after day, year after year, eventually those same people will have no choice but to respect you. Consistency earns respect because it proves seriousness. Words can be ignored, but actions cannot. When people see that you show up no matter what, they begin to understand that you are not like everyone else. You are not interested in excuses. You are not interested in shortcuts. You are not interested in comfort. You are interested in results, and results come to those who refuse to stop showing up. Showing up every day is also about momentum. The hardest part of any task is starting. Once you are in motion, it becomes easier to keep going. By committing to show up every day, you eliminate the start and stop cycle that keeps so many people trapped. You don't waste time restarting. You don't waste energy regaining momentum. You simply keep moving forward. That steady motion compounds, and before you know it, you are miles ahead of the people who only showed up when it was convenient. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in the world, and you build it by refusing to skip the daily work. The discipline of showing up also strengthens your character. It teaches you patience because you learn that results take time. It teaches you humility because you realize that progress is built through small, unglamorous efforts that nobody sees. It teaches you perseverance because you endure setbacks and keep moving forward. It teaches you self-control because you learn to ignore distractions and temptations. All of these traits are forged in the daily grind of showing up when it would be easier not to. These are the traits that create leaders, champions, and people who inspire others to rise above mediocrity. Even the days when you perform poorly are valuable, because showing up is still a victory. Not every day will be perfect. Not every day will feel productive, but simply keeping the habit alive matters. You will have bad days, but if you keep showing up, those bad days are just tiny drops in the ocean compared to the tide of progress you are building. Most people let one bad day destroy their consistency, and soon one missed day becomes many. But if you show up no matter what, even on the worst days, you keep the chain unbroken. That chain of effort becomes unshakable proof of your commitment. Showing up every single day is not about being the best in the moment. It is about being relentless over the long run. It is about understanding that greatness is not created in flashes of brilliance, but in the daily repetition of ordinary actions done with extraordinary commitment. It is about realizing that true success is not an event, it is a lifestyle. It is about becoming the type of person who cannot be stopped because they refuse to stop building your future through grit and repetition, is the ultimate formula for long-term success, because nothing worth achieving is ever built overnight. The world is full of people who start strong, full of energy and ambition, but they fade quickly because they lack the grit to endure the grind and the patience to repeat the process until mastery is achieved. Your future is not written in sudden bursts of effort or lucky breaks. It is written in the consistent, relentless work you put in day after day. Grit is the ability to keep going when things get tough, when you feel like quitting, when the results are not showing up yet. Repetition is the discipline of doing the same actions over and over, refining them, perfecting them, until they become second nature. Together, grit and repetition form the unstoppable engine that builds your future. Grit means you refuse to stop when obstacles appear. Every journey is full of roadblocks, disappointments, failures, and moments of frustration. Most people turn around when things get hard, telling themselves it is not meant to be, that the dream was unrealistic, that maybe they should settle for less. But those who have grit do not back down. They see obstacles as part of the process, not as signals to quit. Grit is persistence fueled by purpose, the refusal to surrender no matter how painful it gets. With grit, you understand that the harder the challenge, the greater the growth. Every setback becomes a chance to adapt, to learn, to toughen your spirit. Without grit, every excuse will defeat you. With grit, nothing can break you. Repetition is the secret ingredient behind mastery. Talent may give you a head start, but repetition is what takes you to greatness. Every skill, every craft, every achievement is built through endless cycles of practice and refinement. The first time you do something, it feels awkward. The 10th time, it feels easier. The 100th time, it feels natural. The 1000th time, it feels automatic. Repetition carves patterns into your mind and body until the action no longer requires thought, only execution. That is why repetition is so powerful. It builds habits, it builds precision, it builds confidence. People who fail often do not lack ability, they lack the patience to repeat the fundamentals long enough to see real results. The future belongs to those who combine grit with repetition. Grit keeps you moving when progress is invisible, and repetition ensures that every step you take makes you better. Together, they create momentum that compounds over time. Each day of effort might feel small, but when stacked on top of hundreds of others, it builds a future that is unshakable. Grit gives you the endurance to last through the storms, and repetition gives you the structure to keep improving no matter what. This is the formula that turns ordinary individuals into extraordinary achievers, because it does not rely on luck, talent, or timing. It relies only on what you control: your effort, your persistence, your consistency. When you build your future through grit and repetition, you stop searching for shortcuts. You realize there is no magic trick, no easy path, no instant success. Shortcuts may bring quick results, but they collapse just as quickly because they lack a foundation. Real success is built brick by brick, and grit is what keeps you laying bricks even when you are tired. Repetition is what ensures that each brick is placed better than the last. Over time, this creates a fortress that cannot be torn down. The people who rely on shortcuts end up frustrated when things don't last. But the ones who put in the daily grind, who repeat the work with determination, build something permanent, something they can be proud of for the rest of their lives. Grit also means embracing discomfort. It means waking up early when you want to sleep, pushing through the workout when your muscles scream, studying when your friends are out having fun, practicing when nobody is watching. Grit is built in the moments when you want to quit but refuse to. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, grit grows stronger. Every time you choose effort over excuses, grit grows stronger. It becomes a shield against weakness, a weapon against doubt, a force that keeps you steady when others fall apart. Without grit, repetition cannot survive, because the moment repetition gets boring or hard, you will quit. But with grit, you endure the boredom, you embrace the grind, and you continue repeating the process until the results appear. Repetition is not glamorous. It is not exciting. It is doing the same drills, the same moves, the same steps, again and again until perfection. It is working on the basics when everyone else wants to jump ahead to the advanced. But repetition builds the foundation. It sharpens your skills to the point where you no longer think, you simply perform. This is why athletes, musicians, and masters of every field spend more time on repetition than anything else. They understand that the fundamentals, practiced endlessly, are what create mastery. If you are not willing to repeat, you are not willing to succeed. But if you commit to repetition, your progress becomes unstoppable. The combination of grit and repetition also builds resilience against failure. You will fail, you will make mistakes, you will face setbacks that knock you down, but grit ensures you get back up, and repetition ensures you improve from the experience. Every failure becomes a lesson that makes the next repetition better. Every rejection becomes fuel that strengthens your persistence. Over time, this creates a mindset where failure is no longer something to fear. It is something you expect, something you welcome, because you know it is part of the journey. Without grit, failure ends your progress. With grit and repetition, failure accelerates your progress. Building your future through grit and repetition also transforms your identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who hopes for success and start seeing yourself as someone who earns it. Every day you show up, every day you push through, every day you repeat the work, you are reinforcing the belief that you are capable, disciplined, and unstoppable. That belief becomes who you are, and when your identity aligns with your actions, success is inevitable. You no longer rely on motivation, you no longer wait for the perfect moment, you no longer doubt whether you can do it. You know you can, because grit has made you unbreakable and repetition has made you sharp. The future you want is not waiting for someone else. It is waiting for you to decide that you are willing to endure, that you are willing to repeat, that you are willing to do what most people are not. The life you dream about is hidden behind years of consistent effort, behind countless repetitions, behind endless tests of grit. Most people will never reach it because they quit when it gets hard, they stop when it gets boring, they give up when the results don't come fast enough. But if you refuse to quit, if you embrace the grind, if you live with grit and repetition as your guiding principles, then your future is already written. It will not be a question of if, it will only be a question of when.